Welcome, one and all, to the official TriFlow podcast, episode 6, where business meets growth. To start things off, thank you so much, Shauna, for having us on your Instagram Live while we simultaneously broadcast live on TriFlow's Facebook page. So it's all things are converging. It's synergy, at its finest.
Absolutely.
So it need not be an introduction on Instagram, but for Facebook. Our guest today is the CEO of Shauna Sincerely. The question is, can you guess her name? She helps women across the world help fight the food war. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on, Shauna Sincerely.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me okay? Is everything good?
Yeah, it's great on our end.
We hear you perfectly fine, Shauna.
Oh, sweet. That was an awesome introduction. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much. So the first question I want to throw your way, Shauna, is you're, of course, the CEO of Shauna Sincerely. So what sort of roles go into that for you specifically?
Yeah, so I started Shauna Sincerely. Actually, it's a funny story. I started this brand in 2011. It wasn't what it is today, but in 2011, it sort of started just like some YouTube videos, and I really enjoyed cooking. Is everything okay?
Yeah,
we're just looking back and forth.
Okay,
we got two cameras. Where do we look? Here or there?
So I started. Okay, Becca says perfect, awesome.
Nice.
So I started this brand in 2011 with just a hobby, starting cooking videos and just sharing what I love to eat. But it really evolved into something different over the span of about 5 years. And Shauna Sincerely Food and Body Confidence coaching was born about 2 years ago. And that all started with my personal journey of self-love and my relationship with food and my body. I was really just this 22-year-old who really had trouble accepting herself, accepting her body. I always loved going hard in my business, but I did feel that as opportunities came in for me, I started to hold back, and I wouldn't put my full self forward. I would, dodge opportunities or just kind of like hide under a rock and not want to really present myself to the world because I didn't feel good about my body. And I realized that when I was actually hit with a chronic illness, and I was kind of forced to take matters into my own hands and change my lifestyle around eating and food. So when that happened, I realized that I had this really toxic relationship with food because I couldn't actually eat the things that I wanted to eat. So in a nutshell, I actually had to go vegan. And because I went vegan, I couldn't eat the things that I wanted to eat. And I realized that I had a serious emotional attachment to food, and I was using it to aid myself through life. And it was then that I decided, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. This is holding me back. And I really started to do the corny work, the work that, a lot of people think is so cheesy, the self-love work. Writing love notes to myself on the mirror, and journaling and meditating and all the things that people kind of have some resistance of doing. I really put that work into myself, and the transformation was just amazing. I really believe I'm my own testimony, and I use that energy to kind of inspire other women. And I just told myself, like, I need to make an impact in this world. I need to show other women that their relationship with food and their body and it being toxic is really deterring them from pushing themselves and getting the most out of life, really. So that's how it was born. And I would say today I'm a bit of a solopreneur. I have maybe a VA and assistant here and there, but for the most part, it's mostly connecting with my tribe, connecting with my circle of people, and really just working from the ground up and getting to know the people who follow me, getting to know what they need, what kind of content they need from me. And that's really how Shauna Sincerely came about.
That's amazing.
amazing. Yeah, that's good. That's a great answer. I mean, I just have so many more questions now. First off, the whole being a creative succeeding thing. I mean, it's weird how many people relate to it, because I mean, I have it myself. I'm 26. I like both of us. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it's most of the time, our biggest rival and stuff. So
Absolutely.
Combated and succeeded, really, if you think about it. And it's so. A follow-up question then would be, multimedia obviously played a big role in you sort of putting your voice out there, at least at the beginning, before sort of actually making a company around it and writing and getting into motivational speaking. So, how did you get started in that specifically? Was it YouTube videos? Was it Facebook? What did you use?
Yeah, I always knew that I loved being on camera, because when I started with YouTube, I felt like I could kind of, be that confident girl. And when the camera shut down, I kind of went back to that like low self-esteem girl, but I felt like I could put on this show. And obviously now it's much more real than it was before. I'm more aligned with myself, but I really always loved being on camera. That's something that I started to realize throughout my journey. And so I would say that it started on YouTube, but listening to my tribe and listening to what they need from me, I realized that I really had to take my business more onto social media, more onto Instagram and Facebook, and really get on live streams and start connecting. I make a lot of content videos now, like short little snippets, things that really catch people's attention, because, we all kind of have a little bit of ADD right now in this society. So the content really needs to be quick and capturing. So I love to post short content videos on my Instagram, and I'm really getting into IGTV these days. And I think that social media is such an amazing platform and tool to use to connect with so many people and to just share your personality, no matter where it is. Social media meets you at whatever level you are. If you're shy, introverted, whatever, there's always someone who can connect to your story, no matter what your personality is at that stage. So I really feel that my tribe has evolved with me over the past 5 years.
So one other thing worth mentioning that I should have at the beginning was that you're actually the first Canadian that we have on, other than ourselves.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
The rest of all are Canadian. Yeah.
Woo! That's awesome.
To sort of turn that into a question, has Toronto always been your home, or are you sort of in the general GTA? And what's that community like? Right? Do you have like real live fans and sort of people that you commune with on a regular basis?
Yeah, so I was actually born in Montreal. I don't know French, so don't quiz me. I came here when I was 8 years old to Toronto, and I was raised here in this community. And I guess being online and my business kind of being birthed online, it allowed me to meet so many people around the world. So I would say networking wise, in person, it's definitely Toronto. I've traveled to the States and I love it there as well. But in person, more so Toronto, and online, it's just people around the globe. Like we have people from Houston today, from, everywhere really. Yeah.
Houston.
Yes, Houston. The smooth factor. She saved the day today.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I like what you mentioned about the stuff that people have. What I really like about your content and the way you deliver your message is that you really care so much about just producing it in such a way that people will listen. Because nowadays, we're doing this podcast and we're really kind of building it as we go, and we're learning about specifically that aspect of how to produce it in such a good quality that people are more receptive. Because everybody's time is valuable, and we want to respect people's time. Respect this kind of first basis for building any relationship, even if it's online with people. So
absolutely,
producing it in such a way that they're able to and they're enjoy consuming it is really key. And you do that so well. I'm looking
Thank
at
you.
your really nice. You have like your personal branding. So can you tell us a little bit more about the personal branding and like how you got into launching it that way? Like when did it all click for you? When did you have that moment? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like how it works, and like this is how people like, you know, this is what they like, and what did they actually like about it? Yeah, just tell us more about that personal brand.
Thank you so much, first of all. That's so sweet of you to say. I really appreciate it because, you know, sometimes we're our biggest critics. And I've been talking about that a lot more, like vulnerability and being a bit more transparent in that, where, you know, people look at you like you're this rock star, but it's really important to show all sides of it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. I would say, like, just like any other business person, when you think of branding, the first thing you think in the beginning of your business is colors and fonts. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned throughout my journey is that branding is so much more than a color and a font. Guys, I went through like magenta pinks, turquoise blues, like all the colors in the rainbow. And none of that really brought in income for me and created impact in the world, but it was more so connecting with myself and learning how to love myself at every stage in my business, through the learning stage, through the successful stages, through the hardships and everything. And I think sharing that with people on social media, your tribe, is really your brand. And almost your tribe almost becomes your brand, because they become these people. You almost kind of form how they look in your head. Like, you start to remember some of their names because they're constantly showing up for you. And they really become your family. Like, brand equals family to me. And it's just so much more than a word, than just brand, but it's really just touching the hearts of people by being like your most authentic self. And that means even off camera, off social media, when you're buying a chocolate bar at the corner store and talking to you know, John at your local market. A brand is all of that, everything, even just communicating at your 9 to 5 while you run your business. And yeah, it's really just about being you and connecting with yourself and getting to know yourself so that you can portray it to your circle and your world, really.
It really, like, it can't be done trying to give a false image, honestly. Yeah,
No.
It's how's going to keep up, because it's that.
No,
right? And
exactly.
You just have to be yourself. Not only are people more attracted to you, but they want to be part of the community. Which,
Exactly.
You know, it's just easier on you. You just end up being happier. So,
Exactly, you got it.
That sort of segues into the next question, which is, what is the best part about doing what you do? If you
Wow. I got goosebumps because I love this question. The best part about what I do is seeing the women who I've worked with who have gone from literally having a cat on their display picture while they own a business because they're so fearful to even put their picture out there, to going to a point of hosting workshops and putting themselves out there, and even dating and finding love and just living their best lives in all areas and aspects of their lives. I think that's the best thing for me. And I don't even need a thank you. I just just seeing them succeed and seeing them do this shows me that I'm going in the right direction. Even when things get hard, because we all know how entrepreneurship is, it could be challenging. But that really is the icing on the cake for me. That's just like, it gives me goosebumps. I'm like, really, like I contributed to this. Like, I contributed to someone getting engaged, someone, you know, making their first 5-figure month, someone, you know, just really putting themselves out there, going to the gym in public and not like hiding away in the women's section of the gym, and just little steps like that, just seeing women really grow and do all of that. It makes me so freaking happy. Like, I can't even explain it.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. Yeah, it's really very fulfilling to see that you've had so much impact, like, in someone's life. Because it's not even their life. It's like their life and everybody else that's around
Exactly. I'm just gonna say hi to everybody. I'm putting dancing and cartwheels for everyone. I love you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's been amazing talking to you, and as you go through what you're currently doing. So if anything, just tell the uninitiated exactly what it is that you're currently up to.
Yeah, absolutely. So every year I kind of throw this group coaching program called Unbinge and Unleash Your Inner Boss Babe. I love this program. It is an annual program, so it's very exclusive, and there's a really big screening process for the women that I take in. This program basically helps you drop any type of emotional eating or toxic relationship that you have with food within 6 weeks, which is crazy. And within those 6 weeks, we get to tap into your boss babe. So we get to tap into what you really desire in life. If that's starting a business, if that's just, doing your first photo shoot and hanging up those photos on your wall because you want to. Being a boss is so much more than owning a business. So we really tap into unleashing your power within. And within 6 weeks, it's crazy the transformation that these women have. And so I'm going to be launching that next week, and it'll be introduced with a really cool masterclass training. So that'll be in the works. And if anybody wants to learn more or even speak with me, I'm very open. My schedule is online, and you can find it at www.shaunasincerely.com/book. So that's in my bio on Instagram or even on my Facebook. And right now, because we're relaunching, I'm actually giving out free 1-hour calls. So yeah, that's amazing because that's a big deal because it's not very often that I do that. It's once a year. So if anybody's interested, definitely booking would be the best thing to do, especially if any of this has resonated.
And they can do that for
just with the link. Actually, I will put it once we're done, but it's www.shaunasincerely.com/book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of messages. Just you wait.
That's awesome, guys.
So another sort of parting note I want to throw you is, obviously it's what you do is help people, and specifically people who are dealing with issues, either for a form of insecurity, control, or just anything of the like. So for those who aren't yet initiated or still feel like a bit shy of moving forward, what is some advice that you would give to them?
Absolutely.
Start level before they take those steps.
Yeah, I think just even admitting to yourself that there's something there is always the first step. And I know, like, for myself, I was always kind of nervous to book a call with a coach because it gets nerve-wracking because you're one-on-one with the person. You're already a little bit intimidated in general. So I always say work your way up. Like, I have a lot of free content on my website. If you go to my website, shaunasincerely.com, you could actually sign up for a free audio, and it's called Unbinge and Unleash Your Inner Boss audio. It's a 16-minute audio, so it's really intense and delicious because it really goes deep into the idea of this toxic relationship with food and helping you to identify if that's even you. So if you resonate with that audio, it kind of gives you a little bit more of an introduction to who I am. So we're not so much strangers just meeting face to face online over the computer, but I would definitely say diving deep into my free content is amazing. Like, follow me on Instagram. I post so much free content there. And I have a lot of people who, aren't necessarily clients, but they follow my work and it's made impacts and it's changed their life. It's absolutely transformed them in certain ways. And I get a lot of messages saying that just following your free stuff has helped me so much. And if those people ever want to move forward and move further and get deeper into this work with me, I'm absolutely open to it. But I will never push or force anyone because I know that we sometimes need to build trust between people, and that's okay.
And also, like, timing is very important. Like, some people, like, they might, want to listen to the audiobook and just, like, kind of ponder on it a little bit, think about it, see how it relates to their lives, and see how really, like, they can resonate with the message that you're pushing out, which is all about self-love and self.
Exactly.
And, facing your insecurities, and it's a hard thing, facing your insecurities, and it's like it takes time, and you gotta really sleep on it, and that's why consuming the content it faces, and just like writing about it, journaling about it, and starting that process of like starting the work just puts you on that path, and then things will really start showing up in your life. Like how we met, and
yes,
and now how we're doing this podcast, and it's a whole you start attracting things into your life that will help you release those insecurities, and
absolutely.
it's a step-by-step process, right? And of course you always want to have that person that's been there, done that, that can guide you and show you the way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's kind of how you've been able to successfully be that for a lot of people. So that's really awesome.
Thank you so much, and I totally agree with you. Like, a lot of people are looking for the next strategy, the next step-by-step process when it comes to their business. And I always say to my clients, like, it really starts, and it took me so long to really get this, but there's no secret sauce. The secret sauce to a successful business and a successful life in general is really loving yourself and getting to understand what your higher self is instructing you to do with your next step in business. Whenever I've listened to just myself, whenever I've launched or anything like that, it has always been successful, as opposed to me trying to find outer sources to figure things out. I mean, I remember I was in this really cool group coaching program, and I showed up in this pink robe and a Nike t-shirt, and I remember the lady saying, you should show up more professionally, and I kind of felt a little bit out of place, and I said to myself, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go make some money in this pink robe. And I literally had my first 5K month talking to my tribe in that pink robe, and that was just because I was in tune with myself. I understood the impact I had by just telling my story. I could have been in a garbage bag, and I would have still had an impact. I would never show up with a garbage bag, but you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's huge for people. People need to know that it doesn't matter where you're at, just start. Just start.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Honestly, it's incredible what you do.
Thank you so
just
much.
helping other people. So yeah, from us and the rest of the world.
Thank you so much, guys. And thank you guys, everyone who's here live. Thank you. If you're just signing on, I'm pretty sure we're gonna keep the replay on.
Oh yeah,
Yes, you will.
Yes,
That's awesome. I have the link in my bio, guys, so if you want to check it out. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. That will do it for this interview, but please, we'd love to have you back.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's talk business. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shauna. It's been a pleasure, and this is it. Like, business, self-love, personal branding. It really all starts with doing the work, taking the time.
Yes.
Listening to the podcast, listening to the audiobooks, reading, journaling. And if you want to know more, find it at Shauna Sincerely on Instagram, Shauna Sincerely on Facebook.
Shauna Sincerely on everything.
www.shaunasincerely.com.
Yes.
There you go. There you have it.
Yeah.
No way to miss it.
Yeah, so we're gonna say bye like 5 times because we're connected on all these different platforms. So here comes the awkwardness.
So,
Okay, you want to do the outro? It's all yours, man.
the outro this time is thank you for listening to the TriFlow podcast. Until next time, always remember, the only way up is one.
Yes.
That's it.
Woo! That's awesome.
Forward. That's it.
Yes, guys.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.